What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Show back with another video, and today I'm talking about Iron Man. Iron Man is apparently getting a new game. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not the biggest fan of Iron Man. I think I said this in my Wolverine video. You should go check it out. I'm not the biggest fan of Iron Man. I don't necessarily think he's a bad person or whatever. I don't, the character in general is cool. And I don't necessarily be the one to be like he's a copy of Batman, all that stuff. I like the idea, you know what I'm saying? He's basically like a mini mecha, you know what I'm saying? Like basically a robot suit, Astro Boy type of thing. So I'm definitely feeling his powers and stuff. The Avengers as a whole just doesn't really excite me, I guess, like they used to, because I've seen so much of them. But I can pretty much admit that Iron Man is still hot, man. Iron Man is still hot in the streets, especially out the I don't want to say the spoilers for the end game, but if you know, you know. But basically after that, he's been pretty hot, I think, as like a character. Everybody wants to see more of him, I would assume. That's why I'm actually kind of curious about how this game is gonna go down. We seem to be having a lot of superhero games pop up lately. I feel like the only game I remember from back then was the Arkham games, and that was it. It wasn't much superhero media back then, you know what I'm saying? It was just those superhero games. Those superhero games were basically limited to Arkham. And I know there's two different companies, DC and Marvel. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it like I don't remember Spider-Man. I mean, you'll probably be seeing Spider-Man footage in the background. I'm just saying back, like way back in the day. But the reason I bring this up is because obviously they're making an Iron Man game. It's gonna be made by EA Motive. I see a lot of people basically saying that they're really disappointed that it's being made by EA Motive, because it could literally be made by Insomniac and it could be so great. Because honestly, I remember playing some of the older Iron Man games back in the day, and they were okay. I guess they were okay. I know they had like a couple movie tie-in games, and they weren't really enough to leave an impression on me. But I think Insomniac could have made an amazing version of this game. I think that's what people are saying. You know, with the big vast cities and stuff, seeing Spider-Man swinging and how the swinging is so fluid and everything. People could definitely understand why they can make a Iron Man game with a big city where you can, just fly through everywhere. That would be like the Spider-Man dream, like, to be honest with you. When I first saw the Spider-Man game and I first played it and beat it and everything, my original thought was, this would be amazing if this was an Iron Man game also. Like, I'm saying, if the game itself was a masterpiece, but it'd be cool if I could be in this big city or whatever, and I could just like fly with an Iron Man suit and do like a couple of the Iron Man things that we've seen in the MCU. Like, for instance, a big thing I loved about Iron Man, during some of the movies, it's like he does this little thing where if certain parts of his armor get damaged or whatever, he can transfer power, I guess power to another part of his suit, and it would make it strong. So like, let's say if he wanted to have less shields or something like that, then he can transfer the power to his boosters and make himself faster, to be able to dodge more stuff. I think they had a concept like that in the older games. I can't really remember, but I love when Iron Man does that in his own movies. I don't know. It's just a little bit of detail right there, and I think Insomniac could have definitely did that justice. Oh, I think the appeal of Iron Man is just to have like all these different suits. I mean, it's right there. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about EA Motive in just a bit, and I want to talk about why Insomniac could have been the greatest developer for this game, because I know people want to touch on it. Could you imagine? I mean, normally, even now, the whole point of the original Spider-Man game is that they have all these different Spider-Man suits, and they all have different powers and stuff. This is literally Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? Iron Man has all these different abilities, all these different suits and stuff that he can use that give him different advantages and stuff, like Hulk Buster and stuff. And I think that could have been a really good way to integrate some of his gameplay. But let's talk about EA Motive, because I don't want to sit here and talk about why Insomniac should have made a game. It never happened. I gotta get over it. It's cool. We getting a Wolverine game. I'm excited about that. Never thought I would get a Wolverine game, so I guess I'll take an Iron Man game by somebody else and get another Wolverine game on the side. So EA Motive is a Canadian video game studio. Company's office is located in Montreal, Canada. Here's some games that they made: 2017, Star Wars Battlefront 2, 2019, Anthem, 2020, Star Wars Squadrons, and 2023, they're coming out with the Dead Space remake. I like Dead Space. I guess I'll have to see what this Dead Space remake is all about. But if I'm being honest, Star Wars Battlefront 2, I honestly love it. I mean, I guess I got to play out there all the updates or whatever. I just got on Game Pass one day and I played and I loved it. It was a good game, but Anthem is not where you want to be. Apparently, it was a collaboration between EA Motive and BioWare, but Anthem, I don't know. You know why I don't know? Because maybe, okay, here's how I'm looking at it. If it is a single player Ironman experience, it still could be good. And here's my reasoning. Even though they had Anthem on their resume, Anthem wasn't that great. Anthem was built to be like a Destiny type game. But the one thing I loved about Anthem that no other game I've seen had today is a amazing flight system. And this is the reason why I think they're going to do the Ironman game. Because I actually did love the flying system in Anthem. It was the only thing I really did like. You know, just be able to get in there and kind of fly around and stuff, you know. To me, it was great. It was a good high point of the game, be able to fly around and fight and shoot and stuff. And I can definitely understand why they might be making an Iron Man game. And you know, the gameplay itself might be okay. And if they're making a single player Iron Man game, it makes more sense because the story is what killed Anthem. Anthem had no updates. Anthem had no story. It was just pointless to play it, to be honest. So why are you playing it for? The game is cool, but the content was so vastly limited that it was pointless to even really want to play it. With that being said, I definitely think I can see why it could be good that they're doing it. Like I said, I love the flight system in Anthem. It's the only thing I like in Anthem. As far as the other games go, I really haven't played much of the Star Wars games like Squadrons and stuff like that, and I don't really know too much about Dead Space. But I mean, we'll see. We'll definitely see. You know, the thing about this particular game is that if they drop the ball, they'll realize that the community will be killing them because they didn't decide to make it a Insomniac game instead. But I'm more curious to see what happens between these two Marvel games, and hopefully it'll come out really good. If it's a single player experience, hopefully they can craft a single player experience better than Anthem's experience. With that being said, guys, are you excited? Is Iron Man one of your favorite characters in the Avengers? Think this game will be good? What do you know about EA Motive? Let me know down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next video.